Shalom. Slap the first and foremost, so we give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakha Chadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, Nabakariim, Shalom, Yashabala. That's peace to the hopefully elect. Akwam, Akwam. Shalom to the hopeful liberating of the children. You know, I've been really just sitting back and just looking at everything, you know, looking at where my life is began, once being called, once being shown. You know what I'm saying? Because John 15 says that, you know, he chose us, we didn't choose him. So that debunks anything these wacky, tacky, stupid bastard Christians talking about. Well, it's going to come into my ear. Shut up, stupid. Shut up, just shut up. Um, I am excited already. Because this is my happy place. Um, so once he touched me and said, "Come on, let's go," you know, I began to sup with him, began to eat this word and be intimate with Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. You know, being given the name and everything. So, if people still walking around here calling on Jesus Crawl and you know, Yehuda and all this other stuff these people say it is, and they still there. Man, listen, if you listen to this, you're there, that's not his name. His name is Yahweh, who the word only calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the Son. Those are only two. Those are only two names that you need to order to gain your salvation. You got to put in some work now. You got to go through what you got to go through. You know what I'm saying? The elect are going through what they're going through. This is, I said, slack you for the long intro, but I just, it's these days in between doing these lessons. I'm just being built up and learning and having my trials and fights and just going through all these different things. But the thing that I'm getting to is just the the faithfulness of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The faithfulness, just him just being who he is and who he says he is. He's a man of his word. It don't get listen. That's manly. That's one characteristic of a man. A man says what he says and does what he says. A man says, "I'm gonna bust your head," he's gonna bust your head. If it's a real man. If a man says he's gonna take care of that for you to help you, he's gonna do that. That's what real men do. And us men of the Lord, we have to do our best to be like Yahushua, to be that austere man. And one of those things is, one of those characteristics is faithfulness. Once you begin to trust Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because I'm going to tell you something, Jesus ain't done nothing but ruin shit. Jesus ruins everything. He do. Whoever, you prove to me something that Jesus has done positive, and out, just go ahead. Just go ahead and try it. Because he has it. Look at the countenance, and look at the spirit that the people are in when they call on the earth bank. I mean, look at the name. You know, people come on my post and I'm talking. You know, people talk to me, period, like straight up. Like, yeah, but they never want to. They're trying to debunk anything. I mean, there's people that go on make YouTube videos debunking theories that people have from movies. This word is the greatest thing ever, and you can't. You won't debunk it because your emotions get in the way. All right, now let's get to this faithfulness. All right, and how it plays a part for myself, for you, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, now Daniel 3 speaks on this piece of garbage, King Nebuchadnezzar, is reincarnated, right? He's reincarnated, right? This piece of trash made this image of gold, but let's just, it was very big, right? It was 3 score cubits, uh, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He said in the plain of Dura and the province of Babylon. Babylon, right? Where are we in? We're in Babylon, right? This is what I'm saying. Like this here is basically what's going to happen again, right? Because eventually they're going to try to make us bow down to get this seat hit, put in us so that we can do what they want us to do and get money and we'll be able to eat, sell it, buy, da da da. But the elect, we're gonna tell them the same thing that Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah told them. But at the same time, you know, you'll see 3 different names because that's the heathen's name because they didn't like the Hebrew names. Right. So then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and captains, judges, treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, and the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which this piece of garment the king set up. Then the prince, which Nebuchadnezzar the king set up. Calm down, we know he's trashy. Then the then the princes and governors and captains and judges and treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, the rulers of the province were gathered together unto dedication of the image of Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. They stood before the image Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried out to you, it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning furnace. So he scared you. He said, listen, if you don't do it, I'm going to kill your ass. But you see, he brought all the people who make laws and decrees and people who have these titles. These are all people that are under him that help him get money and rule over the people wickedly and all that, right? So he went to all your mayors, your governors, your secretaries, you know what I mean? Went through all that who we have now, right? Treasurers, the whole nine, right? Went to all them, to all the provinces, all the counties, all the states, everything around, right? Because we're putting it in modern terms, right? All the states. Listen, you hear this crappy music. That's when y'all are going to bow down and worship this, right? Now, okay. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews, right? So they accused us. What's their accusation? It's a lie. They accusated. They made it. Let's look up what you doing, right? Your cat's basically laying on me. This is kind of what we do in the morning. I mean, I'll feed you after the lesson about around a person charged with an offense, the defendant in a criminal case, a defendant in a criminal proceeding. Salakia, charged with a good gracious rock. Charged with offense, having been accused, being a target of accusations. Salakia. Shit, Lee Walker. Accused. All right. So, yeah. Salakia. Sorry, I'm losing my dog on mine. Yeah, accused. So you made up something. You're accusing us, right? Charged with an offense. So they're being charged with an offense. They offended. They did something that they weren't supposed to do. Quotation fingers over here. And that's what they're being. Okay. So okay, Daniel 3 and 9. They spoke and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou king hast made a decree that every man shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whosoever not falleth down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of the burning furnace. There were certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whose names are really Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Uh, Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is is it true? Salakia. O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I set up. Salakia. Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall to the ground and worship the image which I have made well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? See, this is the beautiful thing about Yahweh should be our shot. Scripture say that but man, so I can bear with me a moment. Good gracious. Oh, oh man. Yeah, I know. Little Nettie. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my God. Jeez. Good Lord. Man. I don't know if it's the allergies or the heat or the dust or the pump. I don't know what's going on. Slovakia. Man. Oh. All right. Oof. Okay. 14 minutes in. All right. All right. So where we at? Daniel 3 and 15. Okay. So Nebuchadnezzar told in Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, told them, hey, yo, is it true that you did all this? You know what I'm saying? Is it true that you ain't bowing down when you hear the music to the image that I made? And if you don't do it, I'm going to throw you in the fiery furnace and the burning furnace. And which God do you serve is going to be able to save you out of my hands? See, that's what I'm saying. So there's a scripture that says that, I'm paraphrasing the heart of the king is, I think I'm butchering it, but the heart of the kings, the Lord controls the heart of the kings. It's like every wicked ruler the Lord controlled because it was all for the good of us. It was all for the good of, same thing with Pharaoh, right? It said the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart because the Lord had to do the Lord was going to do what he was going to do and he had to do it through through Pharaoh's wickedness, right? So it's the same thing with us now. Like, these people have to be wicked so we can see the salvation, so that we can see how powerful our power is. All right. So 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said, O king, to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve the gods nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. See, now listen. It was that statement. These two statements are huge. He said, listen. He said, listen, man. This is right from the king. And this type of confidence we got to have in Yahweh should be shy to say this in front of these devils. Let me tell you something, man. He said, look, the power that we serve is able to deliver us. That type of faith, that type of confidence, deliver us from this here, right, and deliver us out of your hand, right? But if he don't, we still ain't gonna do it because why? They fear Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai more than they whoa, don't you do it, boy, than they do of the king. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen. All right. Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, right? The Lord put the you know what I'm saying, that angel don't put the spirit on him. The Lord had the angel put the spirit on him, make him angry. And the form of his visage has changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So he went from like, oh word, to being like, oh word. Okay, therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded that most mighty men that were in his army bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. See, so that's another thing too. I want to look at this too. He said he commanded the most mighty men were in his army to get them. Right. So let's think about that. He didn't just send the regular old ones. He sent the biggest to go get them. Which I'm speaking as a man, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego must have been some big boys. There must have been some big boys. They must have been like big, you know what I'm saying? Like big boys. Like, yo. You know what I'm saying? They had to send the big boys to be able to stand with them to come do it. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, go get the mighty men. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get the old regular, they didn't get the privates, they got the, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking as a man. All right. Get your weight up, fellas. All right. Let me see. It's like, yeah. I'm all excited. Okay, it's 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats and other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of fire slew those men that took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Yeah, they fell down and started praying. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like unto the Son of God. So Nebuchadnezzar knew what Yahushua looked like. This is how these devils are, yo. And the elders and apostles say it all the time, man, about how these demons are out there being plagued by us. Not by us, but by Yahweh Shimmy Shai. They're being plagued because what in the feezy is that? Yeah, get it, Ruddy, whatever that is. Yeah, I know, get it. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like they be having nightmares and all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Nebuchadnezzar knew who Yahweh Shem Yahushua was, what God is just going to deliver, it's going to take, it's going to save you from me. And then he sees it, he's like, yo, it look like the Son of God. It look like the Son of Yahweh. It's Yahweh Shai. Yeah, it's Yahweh Shai, fool. What do you mean? Look like that's him. He's with us. He was with Hananiah, Mishael, and Azrael. He was with them the whole time. Why was he with them? Because they were being diligent. They were studying. They were reading. They were praying. You know what I'm saying? They were doing what was commanded of them through the Spirit. This is amazing. All right. 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake unto his counselors again. Reading this again. Did we not cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? And they answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near the mouth of the fire of the burning furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Yahweh, come forth, and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth in the midst of the fire. The princes, governors, captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies had no fire, no power, nor was a hair on their heads singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel, Yahushai, and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and tongue, language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So they was already working with them. Nebuchadnezzar already gave them a job, but he promoted them. He gave them a higher job, let them making more money. You know what I'm saying? See, this is how this is. Let this be an example of of how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Let this be an example right now. The scriptures say, "But the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning." Right. So this is a learning moment. This is it. We are to be like to be like these 3 men: faithful, strong, and confident. Confident in the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, I know I'm going long. What is it, 24 minutes? All right. Deuteronomy 7:9. Know therefore that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy God, thy power, he is thy God, the faithful God, which keepeth the covenant and mercy of them that love him and keep his commandments to thousands of generations. Now, did we just read something that happened generations ago? Yes. Okay. If we believe not, it's like in 2 Timothy 2 and 13, if we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. Did we just say that through the Spirit earlier, that he's an austere man? He's a man that stands on his word. He stands on his word. We have to stand on his word. And once we stand on his word, then the words that come out of our mouth are his word. Therefore, we stand on that. So we double standing on top of standing on what how about Shimmy Al Shai is. I'm sorry, that might sound a little silly or crazy, but it's a lot of standing on a word that we have to believe in that is unmovable. I'm very excited, man. And I feel so much better. You see how I'm not sneezing or anything no more. That was just, man, come on. Second Thessalonians 3 and 3. But if the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil? It's rhetorical. He is, sorry, it's not rhetorical, but the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. It's a fact. That's what he's going to do. That's how it works. See, this is what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are. I hate to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, right? Proverbs 28 and 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to the rich shall not be innocent. See, they didn't make no haste to the rich. They weren't gonna bow down to that to that fuck it to that image just so they can appease the king. They stood on what Yahweh Shimei Shai did, and the Lord told the king to give them more. Just seen it. We just read it. We just went through it together, right? All right. Let's get a couple more, then I'm out. All right. 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. For we walk by faith, not by sight. What did he say? He said, our Lord is able to deliver us, but if he don't, we still ain't gonna do what you tell us. We still ain't gonna do what you tell us to do. They had to fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shine then. That's why they said they ain't gonna do it. But they also said that if you don't do it, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shine can do whatever he wanna do, we still ain't gonna do it. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And they knew that. So they knew that if they was to die, it was still all good because they were going to be with him. Let's go. Let's go, man. That's right, Ruddy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hebrews 13 and 8. And Yahushua is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So the same power that we serve now is the same power back then that saved them three men. And guess what? The faithfulness that they have is still here for us because it is a gift. We just have to have the confidence and belief that He gonna do it, regardless of what it looked like. What it looked like, it don't matter. How about Shimmy trying gonna take care of it? All right, let's get one more, and then I'm gonna take care of things I got to do over here. Just, mm, mm, mm. Let's end it on this one. John 14 and 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter that you may abide with you forever. So let me tell you something. That comforter, that Ruach HaKodesh, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. That's what Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have. That's what they had. And I say have because they're here again. They still have it. All right. That's what we have. All right. With once again, it's your brother Yalab Messiah. Lord willing, this election was edifying to the elect. I want to give all glory and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders, the apostles, great millstone. Put on your armor today. Let's get this day going, man. Shalom.